Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
In 47 years, what has Biden really got done? I remember he actually even went and said he didn't want his kids in jungle integrated schools, referring to African Americans as savages. I don't know if you guys recall that, or the fact that he has incarcerated, along with Kamala Harris, many African Americans. What can you expect from a person like that, really? And then when you say, I'm not about party, I'm about policies. Well, his policies have really messed up minorities on a grand scale. Didn't Kamala Harris cry that something about busing in her schools because of Biden? So now we're just supposed to forget about this? I'm sorry, bro, but I don't forget about anything. I have a very locked brain, and I don't believe what the media says. I don't believe what anybody says. I believe in facts, and the facts just speak otherwise. And I'm not the typical Mexican that I have to vote Democrat like everybody else. Nah, I was a Democrat 27 years. You're not going to tell me. I have people that get mad at me because I support Trump, but I just feel he has done more for African Americans and my people. Now,
what has he done for us? Wait, hold on. What has he done for Mexicans?
What hasn't he done for Mexicans?
No, what has he done?
The unemployment rate. I actually became an author because of him. Some of the laws that he passed. Before I had to pay, I don't know what certain amount of money. Now I don't. I'm actually.
What do you mean for
author.
What?
So you're gonna tell me that he hasn't done nothing for Mexicans? Explain to me. What hasn't he done for Mexicans?
What he tried destroying DACA. You know, I have cousins that are using that program.
I do too.
Then what are you doing supporting someone that's trying to destroy something that your family is using to get ahead?
Hey, did he not try to pass an agreement so he can pass a certain amount of DACA? There has to be a compromise, bro, from both sides.
That's not a compromise. That's a compromise. That's not a compromise.
Okay, are you gonna let me speak, or are you gonna speak over me?
I could do both.
Okay, go ahead, speak, and say your piece, and then I'll say mine.
Yeah, that's not a compromise, man. And he hasn't done anything for the Mexican community other than use us as a target. And let's be honest, the Republican Party has been doing this for 20 years before even Trump came into office. So let's not act like we're not the ones that were used as a reason why jobs are not available for.
You're full of shit, bro. Please.
What do you mean? What do you mean? So you've never heard them say they're taking our jobs?
They use any foul language. All right, bro. You're right. You're right. I've heard this argument so many times. All right, bro.
And what's your response?
My response is you're full of it, bro. You're full of it.
That's not a good one.
He's done a lot of things for Mexicans. Yes, he has. He's done a lot of things. You say that he hasn't? Okay, please, bro. Tell me.
What has he done? You said you became an author because of him. There is no legislation that he passed that has anything to do with authors.
Are you going to let me speak?
Go for it.
Democrats, then they said no. He was going to let a certain amount. And Pelosi, and what's his name? I forgot that dude's name that's along with Pelosi. They actually said no. They denied it. There was going to be a certain percentage. There has to be a compromise, bro. That's the way life is. You can't agree with everything, but there has to be a certain compromise down the middle.
Why do we have to compromise on DACA, though?
You can't allow DACA 100% when that's cutting off African Americans' rights, other minorities too, bro. There's American citizens that need to work, bro, and this is just cutting off certain amount of help that those people get. So you're being unrealistic and unrealistic.
It's not just Mexican American. It's not just Mexicans that are affected by DACA. There's Africans. There's also black people that can benefit from DACA.
So other minorities.
I know, but what is why should we have to compromise on DACA? All it is just an ability to pay off any taxes. You're showing that you've been in this country and abiding by the laws. I mean, what compromise? He went to court to try to stop it.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Your cousins would have, or your family would have been affected, and there's nothing wrong with that. To me, this is a crab in a bucket mentality right there. Like, that's one of the things that pisses me off, and probably why we as a people, we can, you know what? And it's not a unique concept, man. There were people like you during the Chicano movement that were looking at those Chicanos going, why are they out there protesting? Why are they walking out of schools? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? There's a lot of people. There's a lot of Mexicans that were against Julio Cesar Chavez, and I'm not talking about the boxer. I'm talking about the activists. There were a lot of people against it, and they were using your arguments.
Did Cesar Chavez not discriminate against Mexicans himself? Did he have Mexican citizens not beat up? Did he not call them wetbacks? So what's your point?
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He's actually a socialist too. As a matter of fact, the United Farm Workers flag, which he admired so much, if you look at it, it's a red flag with a white circle and a black eagle. That's actually modified. That's modified from the Nazi flag. He was a socialist.
No.
What's your point, bro? What's your point?
You're talking about the Aztlan flag, which has nothing to do. It has nothing to do. No, that has nothing to do. That's an Aztec symbol, bro. That's an Aztec symbol.
Do you not know what United Farm Workers are?
It was a union to help protect those workers that were out on the farm being exposed to different chemicals, and then they were also being also attacked on the street. Police officers were systematically putting over and incarcerating a lot of these field workers. Eventually, the groups got together, the ones that were able to get lawyers involved and get other activists involved. They got involved and were able to push forward a way to get citizenship for those workers. Those workers were put in a position to fail. Right now, you're talking about DACA. We're talking about kids that were brought here. It's a little bit different. We're talking about kids that were brought here when they were young. They are as American as you and me. The only difference is that they were brought here as children. Now, there's only two routes. Either they stay here illegally, or we allow them to go to school, pay taxes. How can you be against that?
I never said I was against that, did I?
You're saying that it's good that he tried to shut down DACA.
Okay, are you gonna let me finish?
Go for it.
Okay. First of all, I said there had to be a compromise between both. He was gonna allow a certain percentage to stay in. Democrats denied that. That's a known fact. I'm not lying about any of this. Now, would you rather have a certain percentage come in, or none of them at all?
Wait, certain percentage that were. Why would I have a program that allows these kids to go to school, and then say only a percentage of you are actually going to be able to continue to go to school?
Well, that's the way life is, bro. Sometimes life is a compromise.
But you're compromising on behalf of someone else, and you're not showing the responsibility that you should have for your people.
Guatemalans, even the other governments, Salvadorian said for those people to come back, and the jobs open for them coming in. I would rather at least have an education, be taken out of my country. Yeah, go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
What do you guys want? And that's the big question, you know. What do you guys want that we can support you guys with?
That's going to be difficult, because if you ask individually, we're going to want different things. And if we try to ask us as a whole, as a collective, you see how split we are.
Well, we all have been split on the phone, but we have an understanding that, you know, it's we have to unify for some goal, and reparations is a conversation. You get there by having a conversation. So what I'm saying to you guys is, what is it? I mean, just think about what you want. What do you guys need most of all? We know what we need, and see, that's the thing that confuses me with people. They always worried about laws for other people in their business. See, it's real hard when somebody asks you, what do you want? See, it's easy to hate on somebody and say, no, women shouldn't have rights, or these blacks shouldn't have rights, Mexicans shouldn't have rights. It's easy to say that. Then when you say, okay, then no one will interfere. What do you want? The government will supply it, because that's what we're supposed to do. What do you want? Should Mexico? This is my question.
Okay.
I got. Should Mexico become part of the United States?
No.
Should we just? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Educate me. Go ahead.
No. I don't think Mexico should. They shouldn't. They throw away their independence to be part of the American establishment and just get absorbed. Nah, that's not
Why
good.
not? Why
Yeah,
not?
they're already
Why not?
dependent on the United States, so they should actually become a little bit more dependent. I don't think they need to get absorbed. That's just my answer.
Why does Mexico want to take away Utah, New Mexico, Texas, California? They actually want to reclaim it. If you don't want to be part of the U.S., why do you want to reclaim U.S. territories? Why don't you talk about that?
Mexico wants to reclaim?
I used to be a Chicano activist. I actually was a part of all that stuff, and they would always tell me that they want to get those lands back. And when I finally left and I actually gained the brain and I was actually smart enough to see it for what it was, they were all socialists. I told them, okay, bro, let's see if this is true. So let's say we reclaimed California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Utah, and part of New Orleans. Would you guys be paying them the minimum wage? What is in the United States? Or would you be paying them the wages in Mexico? The guy didn't even know what to answer me, bro. And then the simple fact is, if you're going to make them the simple wage of Mexico, might as well leave it in America. They already
hold on.
They already have messed up wages over there. So a lot of
I get it. I get what you're saying, and I've heard.
And you're not even open-minded. Now, me, if you ask me, I will answer your question, bro. Not you. I'm sorry, bro. EJ, I will answer your question. What do I want for Mexican Americans? I can't say I want anything, bro, for the simple fact.
That was Coach K, by the way, my friends.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Coach K, I will answer you. What do I want for Mexican Americans? I can't say, bro, because as of now, according to everybody, Joe Biden won. I don't feel he has the best interests of Mexican Americans. I don't believe it one bit. But okay, that's fine. If he wins, if this goes to court and he wins, I'll accept it. But I can't answer anything right now because I don't feel he has our best interest in mind.
Okay,
so there's my answer for you, bro. That's my
all
answer.
right.
So anything Aztec says, I'm taking in consideration because he's saying he's talking through answers. You're saying you don't know right now, so that's fine. So
I mean, I also want to add this. Look, it seems like probably you went from one extreme group to another. You went from one extreme side to another. That whole
I can't help it, bro. Mexican people are extreme.
No, that's you, bro. Don't put that on us. Hold on.
You go by the name Aztec, right? Aztec?
Yes.
Okay. What's Mexican people? What's the mixture of Mexican? It's
mixture of Mexican. Bro.
Right?
Where does the word Mexican come from?
Mexican?
Yeah.
Mexica.
Okay. And who were Mexica?
What's Mexica?
What is it? Go ahead.
That's the real name of the Aztecs.
There you go, bro.
Originates.
That's my tribe. That's it. That's my tribe.
Bro. That's not your tribe.
No, you're not. No, hold on. The Mexican. No, see, this is where you have your own education has been influenced by extremists. Hold on. By my tribe. Hold on. Genetically speaking, I am more closer to Huachil than I am to Aztec. But because we are under one flag and it's a union of tribes, that is our new tribe. Anyone from, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're from Oaxaca, you're Mexican. So these different tribes that exist in Mexico,
okay, what part
we are all under the same union, the one nation, which is Mexican. So hold on. So you want to say we're split? Okay. So what did they mix with? They mixed with the Spaniards. Go ahead. So I want you to continue your thought because I want to see where we're going.
I want to say just one thing, just before we get too deep in it. First off, California was independent before it joined the United States, so I'm not sure what Mexico was coming back to California for. But the other part of it is I wish indigenous people would stop referring to each other as tribes, right? That whole thing is just about being uneducated and not having a culture, and that's a whole Roman thing when they came to colonize.
Hold up, stop right.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah. Smoke, right now. Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm being very educated on you guys. Everyone mute themselves. I'm getting educated, and everyone they listen, educate. You guys are doing a tremendous job of putting your points across. Now, that's what we're not gonna do is tell people who they're not and who they are. Now, let me tell you something. They've broken down, and I didn't know this, that Mexico was full of tribes. Obviously, in Africa, they're full of tribes. In Nigeria, they got tribes: the Igbo, the Hausa, the Yoruba. They have that in Nigeria, but they're all called Nigerian. But in Nigeria, they're not unified. You know why? Because when the colonizers hey, Aztec, put yourself on mute 1 second, please. Right?
Sorry, man. Sorry.
When the colonizer came, the European and whoever came over to take over Africa, they put all them tribes as one group and called them Nigeria. But that they're not Nigerian, they're Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, all different tribes. Now, what he's saying then is very important now, yeah, because I understand how this works in Africa, how they don't get along. There's different in the different tribes, they have different outlooks and stuff like that. So as you looking out on the outside, looking in, you can't tell them not to call themselves by how their tribes. He's broke it down of how. 1 minute. Destiny's funny, you know. He's breaking it down of how he sees it, Smoke. So I don't think it's a good idea to judge them on how you see it at this point. This is what
EJ, you're misunderstanding. I'm talking about the word tribe. That's it. I'm saying that the word tribe, not how you describe the people, but the fact that we characterize like indigenous people all over the world. The fact that we use the word tribe, what that connotates is that we actually didn't have a culture, and it's the colonizers actually the colonizers' word for the people. The Hausa people, the Igbo people, the Mestizo people, they were a people, they were a nation, they had a culture. They weren't a tribe.
No.
Well, can I just clarify a little bit on that, on why I use the word tribe?
No. One second, because I didn't finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
They're using we speak English, right? So we're speaking English. We're speaking the word of the so-called colonizer. So we're gonna speak the language. Now, to me, it makes sense what he's saying. Now, whether we disagree with the word tribe, that's another topic and thing. So I understand what he's saying. A group,
it can be called blue. You saying? It can be called
exactly. But he gonna call it what it is. And I'm not gonna. And I understand what you're saying, Smoke, in terms of they called it that, and it should be. But I'm cool. Right, with understanding that now, I'm being educated now in how Mexico is divided on both.
Yeah,
I mean, this is both Latino thing. I never knew this.
I'm
right?
Getting the same.
I'm getting educated. So let these guys get to the point they want to get to and try and get understanding on from.
Yeah, man. I'm also getting educated. I'm all ears. Yeah, that was my only two things. I'm out.
Okay. One minute, get educated. For everyone listening, you guys are doing a tremendous job of educating cops, and obviously the bigger picture on how the Biden administration is going to affect obviously your home country and also Latino Americans. But you guys continue. I think you was continue with France. Go ahead.
You was breaking down your tribes because I'm curious about that. Keep saying that. Go ahead.
Okay. Now basically what I was gonna say is, I was asking Aztec. He says he has Aztec. To me, that's unrealistic. The Aztecs died off long ago. They were decimated by disease and a bunch of things. If anything, there's some.
They didn't die off.
But Aztecs, be realistic, bro. That's not even true. I laughed at my dad when he told me he had Aztec blood. It's not true. You might have indigenous in you, but it's definitely not Aztec. And I'm pretty positive, and anybody can confirm this, you don't speak Nahuatl, which is the Aztec language. So be realistic.
We do speak. Hold on. Can we touch that? Can we go? Because you're saying a lot of things. Can we just break down the section by section? So on the first point, you said we don't speak Nahuatl. Yes, we do. This is how we use many words in Nahuatl. Tamale, elote, chocolate, aguacate. No, that's not. Coyote, that's Nahuatl.
Nahuatl is aguacal. It's not aguacate.
And they didn't even have aguacate or aguacal in Europe. It's an American. Look, all right. So a little bit of education.
Let me ask you another question. You're Mexican.
Okay. So you never heard of the name Xochitl? We have Nahuatl names all over Mexico.
Spanish with indigenous. How come you only say
Michoacán?
You don't embrace your Spanish side. Me, I embrace both sides. I'm proud of both sides. I'm definitely proud of being indigenous, and I'm proud of being Spanish too. Why do you just take your Aztec side? Is your white side a little bit too stupid or what?
I've never been to Spain. I've never been to Spain.
I've
never grew up around Spanish people. I grew up around Mexicans. See, this is a difference. You love your Spanish side. How many times have you been to Spain, bro?
What does that have to do with anything?
What do you mean with
There's a lot of African American people that love Africa. They've never been there. What's your point?
Yeah, but you're. I'm talking about you. Like, what do you love about Spain?
And I'm talking about you.
What do you know about your Spanish side?
I'm a mixture of both. I can't deny one and accept the other. That would be stupid. That's ignorant.
Yeah, but as a mestizo, how do you figure that I am? Hold on. As a mestizo, how do you figure that even I'm not acknowledging that I'm mixed?
Correct. You're a mestizo. You're not Aztec.
Yeah. So what makes you think I don't acknowledge that I'm mixed? I'm a mixed indigenous person in the Americas.
It's very simple. It's a mixture. Mexican, same thing. It's a mix, bro.
But Mexican and mix are two different words, bro. Right? But just to clarify.
How old are you?
Right now I'm 30. How old are you?
Oh yeah, I'm 35. Yeah. No wonder you're younger, bro. You need a lot to grow still. Go ahead, keep on going. You're from California, right?
Okay, all right. No, hold on, because I feel like you've grown in the wrong direction when you're willing to laugh at your dad when he's explaining to you who he is. So even from your roots, you're doubtful. So that's more of an internal issue with you. Me personally, I understand the tribe I'm from, and you want to get specific. Oh, there's a good chance that you're not Aztec because, you know, they died of diseases. First of all, the Aztecs were split. Yeah, there's a lot of noise. I don't know if. Hello?
Hey guys, I have bad reception, so if I cut off for a little bit, please.
Yeah.
Yo, is he?
Aztec, keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
All right. So.
All
right. So check this out.
Go ahead.
To say that we don't speak Nawa, to say that we don't speak our original language, I think it's a false claim. That's like telling African Americans that they can't say they're African because they don't speak their native language. We have our roots. We have our motherland. The only difference is we're standing on it rather than being taken away. So I can acknowledge that, yeah, I am mixed. I am mixed, but I've never been to Spain. I'm not Spanish. I'm not Latino. This is just the language I speak. I'm sure Coach doesn't consider himself English because he speaks English. So I, in my opinion, I feel like you're reaching for straws, bro. You want to be proud of your Spanish side, but it seems like you're leaning more to trying to laugh at those that are trying to embrace their indigenous side. And that's a problem because it's always been an issue of trying to keep our culture. And we've been very successful at holding on to the culture we have. We've been able to keep our tribal name, or at least a form of it. We've been able to keep our indigenous food. Our music has influenced Spanish music. I mean, at the end of the day, we've tried very hard at keeping our traditions. And to laugh at that, or to kind of act like as if we're wrong for doing that, to me, it's self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. I mean, what's going to end up happening is what happens to a lot of Mexican Americans, third generation, fourth generation, all of a sudden, they forget who they are. And I don't think that's healthy. And that's a lot of the reason why our communities are split.
I think he said his connection broke up, but that was a fired debate. Coach K started that. Like, big up to Coach K getting out of what Latino people want from obviously the new president Harris and Biden. And listen, Aztec, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That was a real. I'm gonna chop that up. I'm gonna swear, I'm gonna chop you up. If hope my man comes back, Franz comes back, because I tell you what, yeah, that I ain't never heard that kind of conversation before in my life. I'm telling you, man, that is a whole heap of stuff to unpack. That's a whole heap to unpack. I'm still trying to get my mind around it. Like how really what happened in obviously in your community, and let's say use the word Mexican in there, that you have different tribes in there, and then you guys are coexisting, that most people wouldn't even know how similarities that in the so-called the Africans in the tribes they have, that you have the same thing. Now the Europeans, they don't really have tribes. The words they usually word, I mean, that's the words they put on indigenous people. I Smoke good, what Smoke said, I agree. They call them clans, and in Scotland you have the McGregor clan, you have the all kinds of clans in the Highlands. Because remember again, most of the Americans and them, that they came from Scotland, Ireland, and England, right? So that's what they used to call them, the clans, the thingy clans and the stuff like that. And that's why, and in America they call them the clans as well, and then the Kuke, you know what I'm saying? So that's really the word. But I ain't gonna lie, that's a lot of stuff to unpack. And the guys listening, yeah, big up, man, big up to you guys talk. I hope my man Franz comes back, if his communication come back, because the two of you right there, that was real heartfelt and passionate, bro. And I feel we feel it, bro. We feel it. I'm telling you, I felt that.
Yeah, man. I'm not surprised that it's look, it's kind of our fault too as a people. Like I said before, we don't have these conversations out in the open. So, some people, looking outside, they go, wait, really? These are the issues that you guys are going through. But one of the biggest issue is identity. We do have an identity issue. So many influences, outside influences, mixtures of cultures. It makes it difficult. Makes it difficult when you're, if you want to compare a part of Africa to, a part of America, you could say that Mexico is, about 100 years past what South Africa is going through. So it's a recovery of an apartheid. It's a recovery of, I'm using the word tribal because to me, it doesn't have a negative impact, but I could see your point, but to me, it doesn't. I'm very proud of it. So as far as,
you guys are suffering in silence and not really it's like you guys are saying, we're not going to complain about, we're going to deal with it, and we're going to internalize in our own groups, and we're going to sort it out. But obviously at some point people try and sort these things out. Like if you got groups, right, different tribal groups, and you're labeled as Mexico, okay, you're labeled as Mexicano, and some people not embracing the Spanish, and he embraces Spanish and you embrace the Aztec. Yo, that's all good. Yo, we should be all good with that. But it seems like that naturally there's backwards and forwards, man. I mean, I'm telling you, that's what happened. It is. Also in the so-called black communities, where you have people from West Indian background, Barbados background, people from Brazil and so forth, people from Puerto Rico, you know what I'm trying to say? You have them kind of back, but even though you on the outlook, they're so-called as black, yeah. But in that is some real in-depth information that the people listening, they are really
there's a lot to unpack, man. There's so much to unpack. You got to think about it. Christopher Columbus, landed on the islands, and since then that was that's about 500 years of conquest and battle between indigenous and European. So when we talk about white supremacy, Mexicans have been fighting white supremacy for a long time.
Yeah, see, and that's
for a long time.
My issue, and I understand the whole thing about tribe, right? And the way the word has been reclaimed, the way it's used today. But even evoking it, you get this sense of a community of people that don't really have a structure, right? That didn't really have a nation of thing. And that's the whole idea of the colonized view of yourself. And that's the identity crisis that I think people need to unwrap, is even some of the words that we use to identify ourselves as, that we may think is positive, actually has a negative background that you can't get around if you actually evoke it, right? It's hard to think of the Aztecs as a nation if you start thinking of them as a tribe.
And France is back.
Right, but then it's also something that we want to preserve. We want to preserve the the
Right,
concept
the
of a
cultural
tribe
heritage, right?
because
Right, it's the cultural heritage and the genealogy. It's the heritage, right? But it's not the
well,
heritage is a people that's connected to a land that had a national that actually had a national identity before a colonizer came in and reduced them into a tribe.
no, because we're talking about there. Even when the Spanish came, there were hundreds of tribes in Mexico. It wasn't just Aztecs or Mayans or the ones from National Geographic, and hundreds of those still exist. So
Right, but the
when we're
point is that
talking
they
about
didn't
this,
consider
and so
the point is that they didn't call themselves tribes, right? It's the colonizer who came in and classified them as tribes.
I get what you're saying, and you're right. Because it's the English language, so obviously, their word had a different familiarity to them as they spoke it in their language. But if we're translating to English, I have to only disagree because
No,
not every
I'm saying that
group, not every group
I'm saying
not
the
every
concept.
group was part of a large nation. There are, officially there are small tribes. There's small tribes. They exist in Mexico, Central America, South America. But speaking specifically with Mexico, the way I've always viewed the word tribe, it has always been mostly a sense of community. So it's not necessarily taking something away from someone and saying, well, you guys weren't good enough to build a nation, so you're at the beginning stage, which is tribe. I never looked at it that way. I always looked at this was my community. This is a tribe.
That's the great thing about having an open mind.
Yeah, and you got to understand, Smoke. Yeah, but remember again, we're all from different parts of the world. You're over there, even though you might be in America. These are different parts of thing, and I also me from the UK. And exactly what he said, I don't, as using the words tribes, I don't really get offended, but I understand what you're saying. My man, friends is back. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm not offended at all. I'm just saying, as indigenous people, I wish that we would stop doing it. I'm also like part Native American, right? So
Yes.
there's a national identity that goes along with that gets reduced to being described as a tribe. To me, it's a reduction, right? And it's a reduction on purpose in order to lessen, right? So that we actually take on even the view of our colonizer. But anyway, I'm gonna jump out. That's a semantic question, really, right?
Yeah.
So let's get back to cooking.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Franz, so you guys will continue.
Right.
You broke up. Go ahead. Which one of you started first? Aztec, Franz? Go ahead.
It was me, Aztec. I think he got his point across. I got cut off because of the signal. But when I was going to ask, I'm actually, like I said, I'm part Spanish, part indigenous. I just consider myself Mexican. Nothing more, nothing less. Nor do I think I'm superior or better to anyone else. Now, my question to you, Aztec, you're very proud of being indigenous. So how do you feel about the Apaches? Since I'm indigenous, I can admit this, and it doesn't hurt my feelings in any way. But the Cherokee Nation was actually known and very notorious for owning black slaves. How do you feel about red masters?
Well, yeah, I mean, what other tribes did, that's something that they will have to, they'll have to definitely account for that.
Why do you keep referring to them as tribes? They're not a tribe. They're a civilized people.
Well, I mean, you want to call them a nation, but we can go into the semantics again. But I'm trying to explain that I don't view that word as a negative, so I'm gonna continue to use it. Just it's so. Just to get back to my point, how do I feel about it? I mean, that was definitely wrong. But what does that have to do with me?
I'm talking about because you act very high and mighty about indigenous people, yet our own people were enslaving our own people in the Americas for thousands of years, even before the white man stepped on land.
Well, let's cut that out.
No,
no.
Don't try to censor me. Don't try to censor me.
I let you speak. Let me speak.
Okay, just don't try to censor me. I don't appreciate that.
I can't mute you, bro. Okay, I don't have that control. All I'm saying is that I'm about to torch that. There's
yeah, right, bro. You haven't torched anything. Don't play yourself, kid. Don't give yourself too much credit.
Okay. All right, you're gonna let me speak?
Go ahead.
All right. So all over the world, there's wars, there's battles, there's fight for territory, right?
Oh, this is the point where you try to justify it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it ain't no justification.
That's
It
what
ain't no
sounds like.
justification. No. But
Ain't
you
not a word.
we want
You
to.
know, ain't-
Oh my
ain't
God!
is not a
Can I
word.
finish my sentence,
Go
dog?
ahead.
No, one second. So what we're gonna do? So obviously I'm the moderator and I can control the view. Franz, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on mute. I know you.
Yeah.
You,
Go ahead.
You can say what you want to say, but you'll just be on mute. And when he's finished, I'll let you jump in.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, Aztec. You continue.
All right. So what I was getting to is it's not a justification. What I'm explaining is there's points in history where there are mass killing attempts at genocide. This is a completely different conversation between political powers, between two different nations, tribes, or whatever you want to call it. What we're talking about when we talk about the conquest, when you have the conquistadors and the damage that they caused, it extended beyond them taking over a nation. They tried to genocide not just our people, but our religion, our culture. You literally just told me, hey, you don't speak Nawa. Well, duh. Why? Why do you think that happened? Why am I not speaking the language that was spoken on this land for thousands of years? I mean, it's almost like you can run around in circles, but at the end of the day, this isn't about, somehow pointing the finger and going, well, you saw that tribe and that tribe did that, and the Aztecs used to sacrifice people and this and this and this. What the Spanish did was a completely different sin. They killed more people within the first 50 years than anybody has ever died on this land in the Western Hemisphere. Hundreds of millions of people died. That no war, no sacrifice, no nothing that the Spanish, the Aztecs, the Mayans, all the way back to the Olmecs. There has never been this amount of death as when the Spanish showed up. So do not try to connect little comparable. Oh, well, they did their own version of killing, whatever. It's not comparable, bro. It's not. So you can miss me with that. That's my point. Let him back in. I want to hear what he's got to say.
The host. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Nah.
Louder.
Well, like I was saying earlier, everything what you said, you just gave me the runaround. Back then, they didn't have records like we do now, so you can't actually compare back then to now. Now, if we get to that point, yes, there was atrocities committed by Native Americans here. If we go back in time, they might have been in the millions, bro. So to say it wasn't you're being very disingenuous. And to say that we didn't practice certain things that we had in common in America that we had in other parts of Europe, like slavery, we had it here. The Aztecs practiced slavery, bro. The people that they did not commit what's it called, human sacrifice, they owned them as slaves. So what you're saying makes no sense at all, and you're trying to justify it by saying, oh, well, white people did this. Okay, yeah, they did, bro, but let's take into accountability everyone from white to black to Mexican, anyone, bro. I'm a person, I'm just and I'm fair. I don't run around, I don't play these semantics the way you're saying I am. I don't. I'm too grown for that. So please, don't try to be disingenuous. Don't try to lie. Don't try to say that I'm trying to turn this up for this and that. Nah, that's not the case, bro. I've never been that way. I give everyone their fair shot.
Okay,
That's my
all right.
case. No more, no less.
Okay. Now, the only thing I want to add to that is just saying that, we can talk about, historical facts, what happened between tribes, what was done with the soldiers when they were caught. We can do that. We can have that discussion. But the problem that I have here is that there's an intent hidden behind the facts that you're saying. And that's what I'm
There's a
trying
what?
to
There's a what behind? Come again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
intent, intent,
Okay.
intent,
And what is
intent.
that? And what is
And
that intent?
and it seems like the intent is trying to distract and say, well, let's not talk about what the Europeans did because we were doing this over here. And I feel like that's we're running in circles now.
No, we're not. You're running in circles. I'm not. I know exactly what I'm
Well, what
talking
do you?
about.
But where did this come up? Because I'm trying to see, when did I say that there weren't, sacrifices or deaths at the hands of the Aztecs? When you're saying how can I say that it didn't happen? I never said it didn't happen, but I'm trying to see, what does that have to do with the conquest and then the effects of that conquest, the things that we have to deal with now. Because guess what? We don't have to deal with the sacrifices that were made. We have to deal with the Spanish and the.
Aztec.
He cut out for a second. I think his connection got lost.
Yeah. He'll probably come back. Franz, want to say anything?
I'm still here. No, I'm listening, bro. Just so everybody, understands, I'm a very level-headed guy. I just don't believe in bullshit. And I apologize for using that word. I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to use curse words, but this dude's young. I know I'm 5 years older than him, but he's the age of my little brother, bro. And my brother's very heavily indoctrinated, and a lot of things that he says, I just say like, what you're saying makes no sense. A lot of these things are just common sense nowadays. But that's neither here nor there.
Well,
I want to let everybody know. If I said anything that you guys, took it the wrong way or whatever, I apologize. I'm just trying to get my point across with this dude. I know he's a part of your community, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, everyone's a part of the boxing community. Like, I think when Tommy had you in the group, it's boxing group, so we talk about other things other than boxing. But at this point, the president, Bima's got in there. Now, you and Smoke were going backwards and forwards in the group chat. That's kind of why I brought you out here, because it was relevant to what we're talking about. What was that about? You guys want to continue talking that, Smoke?
Yeah, I was about to get to it, right? I was, as far as the election being stolen, are you feeling like the election being stolen? I think there's some very some points that just need to be cleared up, right? The idea, whether or not the election is stolen, is a completely different charge than Biden is the one stealing it, right? I think you've conflated two ideas. Like, you're saying that after an investigation, Biden is supposed to be cleared of something, as if it is Biden himself that is rigging the election.
Okay, and I'll give you my take on that. Are you finished, or you want to continue?
No. I just wanted to make sure that I just wanted to make sure that is what you're alleging, right? That it is Biden himself that is orchestrating some massive voter fraud.
I never said that. What I did say is, I do feel that his team or whoever's in charge of his campaign could be doing it, which is very, very fair to say. Especially with what happened with Nixon and Watergate and all that. So this actually does apply to this case too. Now, to say that he's innocent of certain things, no, he's not. He's actually went on record and actually, with the whole Ukraine thing, which kills his credibility, in my opinion. You guys might not agree. That's fine. You don't have to agree. You're just not going to change my mind on this topic. Neither you nor anyone will change my mind.
I know, because what you're talking about is a belief, not a fact, right? So
it's not a belief.
Wait, 1 second. What we're gonna do, they will go on, like, let Franz air completely out, Smoke.
Sorry. Yeah, I stepped on his last thing. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
I got it. I will. I hear you, EJ. And sorry about.
Yeah, that's cool, Smoke. Don't worry about it. It happens, right? Aztec, come back. Aztec, I'll put you on mute, because otherwise, the people listening won't get. So, Franz, you just completely finish, and when you finish, I add smoking at the end, and that's how we're gonna do it. Go ahead, Franz.
Yeah. No, basically, what I was just gonna say, is okay. This happened with Watergate. It's happened throughout presidential campaigns. We saw how what's in 2000, Al Gore was actually, he had his election stolen. You know, we're not going to lie about that or even try to say it didn't happen. Yes, it did. So anybody who tries to put a notion that this can't happen or this is a conspiracy, I think that's very disingenuous. That's even lying, because things like this do happen, you know. And I guess you can say I'm more right wing. That's fine. Does not bother me one bit. But when people say this is a right wing conspiracy, to me that's total BS, for the simple reason that every time it's right wing, it's a conspiracy. But whenever somebody in the left, like Michael Moore, who did the documentaries on the 9/11 and all that, he says something, it's a fact. So it's like, let's keep it 100%, you know, for real, like what it is. Don't try to dodge and say, oh, this is a conspiracy on this and that. No, there's no such thing as conspiracies. Some of these things are true. Let's just be realistic. Now go ahead, say whatever you want, Smoke.
Okay, cool. So there's right-wing conspiracies, there's left-wing conspiracies, and there's fact, and there's truth. All of those things happen, right? And Watergate was not about voter fraud. Neither was really about, neither was Florida, right? What you're accusing Biden of, right, would be, for me, doesn't work with the way that elections work, right? Like the idea that somehow he is manipulating Republican-run states to massively to win the election by millions of votes, right? 4 million votes is somehow orchestrated by Biden, even in Republican-held legislatures. I don't get how you're coming to this conclusion. It sounds like you're echoing what Donald Trump is saying about it. But what Donald Trump is saying about it is also flies in the face of logic. What makes more like right? So there's the idea of what is more reasonable, what is more likely than not, right? Is it more likely that all of the votes are tallied up on the night of the election, or is it more likely that votes it'll take a while to tally up votes when a bunch of them come in mail in? And then if you do even a historical, you drag that out historically. If there's a bunch of mail-in ballots, who does those ballots historically tend to who do they tend to trend towards? Do they tend to trend Republican, Democrat, or is it a mixture of the two, or maybe it's just a mishmash? There is no correlation. But if you find there is one, and it is consistent with what we always see, I don't understand how all of a sudden it's fraud just because the guy lost happens to say it is. And it's the same thing that he said the last time when it was close. If I win, then it's legitimate. But if I lose, it's fraud. And there's a difference between right-wing conspiracies and right-wing propaganda. And what I'm hearing is just an echoing without even really even thinking about it or understanding the process about allegations about this dude's character. It doesn't make sense to me.
Go ahead, friends. Your turn. Friends? Oh yeah, okay.
So,
there you go.
I'm just gonna go with this. I really do believe the elections were rigged. I'm not gonna deny that. Smoke can have his say so, but if the people feel the election was rigged, if the president feels the election was rigged, and there is some suspicion where even a black Republican came out and put his suspicions on and said that he wasn't even allowed to see the mail-in ballots, there is a certain case where yes, we could take this to court. Why not? Explain to me why not? Why can't we take this to court and see if this happened or not, and see what evidence is presented? And if regardless of Biden, did this mass voter fraud, or he didn't, or if it was his campaign, it was still manipulated for his win. You can't deny that, bro. You can never deny something like that. The point is, he won.
So here's a difference between like a fact and a belief, right? A fact you can go like, yeah, as the facts change, my opinions on it change. A belief is no matter what the facts come in, you're not going to change your perspective, right? And that's really to me, this is tantamount what this comes down to: feelings over facts. people are suspicious, intuitively and suspicious of it, but haven't done any sort of research to back in to have basis for any of their claims. But as far as the question of process goes, why it would get to the Supreme Court, the reason why it would go to the Supreme Court is if there was some sort of evidence at a state level. So it would, instead of there being this idea of there's vast, massive voter fraud, you would have to prove voter fraud somewhere. And for the idea that either it's mail-in ballots or where the votes come from, you would have to say where that where did that happen? And it just so happens that the only places that he is talking about doing this is in places that he lost, right? Even though the same procedure exists in a state that he wins, that's all good. But the states that he loses, all of a sudden, the only reason why he lost is because of fraud, right? So instead of just lobbing these suspicions or accusations, baseless accusations, why don't you say, hey, you know what? This situation in Wisconsin, this particular thing seems off, right? So these COVID ballots, and they're counting them over here, this process is off. I think this is a good case to bring to the Supreme Court versus this omnibus meta thing of I don't trust one particular party or one particular person, therefore the election is rigged. That is irresponsible to me.
Go ahead, friends. Okay,
like I said, if there's suspicion, there's videos where they're covering the walls where people can't see what's going on inside. That's highly suspect to me. All these things coming out, but they're going to be labeled conspiracies anyways. So it doesn't really matter. Does it, Smoke?
The fact that people are mad that you couldn't see that a Joe Schmo couldn't walk up to a thing and see the votes were counted, you can be mad about it. But does that equal there's voter fraud? No. Like first off, like look at the law in that particular country. I mean, that particular state where they're counting the vote. If that particular state says, guess what, we're going to black out the windows when we count the vote, then go get mad at that particular state for that particular rule instead of accusing Joe Biden of fraud.
Okay, so it's just it's too much of how do you say it? So they block out the windows. You're saying that that's okay to do. Why do you even have open windows in the first place? And why are you even blocking the walls? And you can't even see the ballots anyways. That makes no sense. So you can't see the ballots, yet you're closing the windows. You're blocking them out for people to see. And this is a fair and balanced, supposedly election, yet you're blocking the windows. They did that in Venezuela, bro.
Okay. The question is whether or not a particular state has blacked out the windows, because another state had video of the entire count, right? The state that actually matters, Pennsylvania, when they were counting them, it was a feed that everybody can see, that you can go to their website and check it out, right? Yeah. So it depends, like regardless of what happens in these particular states, the actually states that mattered, right, that actually put him over the top, even if you say, hey, you know what, there's some irregularities in Nevada, let's take a look at that, and then they threw out the entire Nevada vote, he still loses.
Okay.
So that's the problem I see with this whole deal about, hey, you know what, there's massive fraud. Come with a specific state, right? Where you think that there's actual irregularities happening that would actually even rise to a Supreme Court challenge versus my guy lost. He's now complaining about it and complaining about the irregularities and the messiness of a U.S. election, which they're all messy, right? They all have some kind of thing that you can complain about. It doesn't mean that they all rise to the level of a Supreme Court challenge.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say they do come up with this goes to the Supreme Court and it's proven otherwise that they did cheat. Let's say it does. Will you accept Donald Trump as your president? Just yes or no. Simple yes or no.
Would I accept him as my president because you said they cheated? It depends on how they cheated. What are you describing as cheating? And then was it determinative in the outcome of the election? But like here's the whole thing. Like if you ask me, do I think Donald Trump won the election legitimately the first time? I'll tell you no. So then why, if I don't think he won the election legitimately, I would say that he's my president because some other guy didn't win the presidency legitimately.
Okay, that's fair enough. Now,
okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind this going to the Supreme Court, to be honest, because if that's what it takes, if that's what it takes to get people to wrap their head around the next 4 years, because we can't have it 50-50. We can't have it this much of a split. Some people are going to have to wrap their head around that their guy lost. And if it has to go to the Supreme Court and there's a fair trial, that's one thing. And that's another thing you gotta depend on. Hopefully you get a fair trial. As far as voter fraud, it's this voter fraud happens. It happens in every year. What we're talking about is organized voter fraud, right? That's what you're trying to say. So there is right now.
Exactly.
If there isn't any evidence that they can present, then there will be no trial. So just know that if it doesn't go to the Supreme Court, it's not because there's not conspiracy. There's something going on. It means that there wasn't evidence. Okay, and you're just gonna have to accept that. And at the end of the day, there was fraud, and there was voter fraud during the last election. There was media manipulation. There was social media manipulation by Russian intelligence. This was all proven. All of that was proven. For some reason, you guys are okay with that on another country intervening with our election. But now you guys want to keep it clean.
Okay.
Now let's make sure this is super clean, because it seems shady. Where was all this intuition 4 years ago?
Okay, can I contend to that or no?
I'm done. Yeah, go for it.
Why is it that Democrats are so hung up? And this is the truth. Why are you guys so hung up on Russia hacking our elections when you guys let people from across the border come and vote and they're not even U.S. citizens? Please explain that. Elaborate.
Wait, they allowed people over the border? Or are you telling me that, like I said, okay, so I clear that up with the voter fraud happens. There's different ways that voter fraud happens. Right? Hold on. You're talking about organized voter fraud now. So now you're saying, where's the proof that California organized Mexicans coming over the border to vote? Why would they risk going to jail for a vote in a country they don't live in?
They don't, because they get away with it, bro.
It makes no sense, man. So I'm asking again. Why did you answer? So now I'm gonna do what you did. You're answering the question with the question, and you're deflecting.
All right,
well, look at this over here. No, it's real.
Okay.
Where was this intuition though 4 years ago?
Where's the intuition?
Where was this wanting it to go to federal court, wanting to get a fair election?
Illegals come in and rig the elections, yet you're worried about Russia? Come on, bro. Let's get real.
Wait.
Hold up, Ezra. Can I jump in real quickly? Hey, friends. Hey, first time talking to you, man. Great to have you on the panel. But I got to ask you this question. You say that Democrats allow illegals to come from the south of the border to vote.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Where's the evidence of that?
I lived in California, bro. I've seen it. I have people.
You've seen it.
Bro, I live here too, man. I didn't see shit.
I know that's the first time I heard that.
Do you know how many people that there already are in California that they could round up for a vote? Why would you have to go all the way to Mexico to do this?
No, you don't have to go to Mexico. You just come across the border. You have no papers. You come here.
Wait.
Why do you have to do that in Mexico? There's already people here. You don't need to import voters, illegal voters. Like, that makes absolutely no sense.
Yes, it does make sense.
It's not even logical.
Like, you're turning a blind eye. That's another story, but it does make sense.
No, actually, pumping in, but bringing in people across the board when there's already plenty of people here does not make sense.
It actually does make sense.
Don't want to interrupt him. Everyone else put them on mute. I would like let Franz explain himself thoroughly, and then when you finish, just let them know so they can rebuttal. Go ahead. Everyone put themselves on mute. Go ahead, Franz. The floor is yours.
Okay, first of all, my father got here. Well, my stepfather got here through the Reagan administration. Through the Reagan administration, he was a Democrat many something years. Democrats actually came. Well, not Democrats, but actually like the officials that come and seek their votes. And my father at the time was illegal way before Reagan had come in, and they were counting on his vote. I seen it there. I seen it in the complex where we lived. How many votes they seeked from illegal immigrants. Most of the people we were at in the complex were actually illegal. So you guys telling me that it doesn't happen It's not true, bro. I lived it. And
Are you
Smoke
saying that
saying it like it's a conspiracy? Nah, bro. It ain't a conspiracy.
Well, let me respond to that. First
No,
things first,
I just
right?
want to clarify. I just want to clarify what
Oh,
he's saying. Was this complex in America or was this in Mexico?
America.
That's my point. Is that they have places that they can call the vote from in America. They don't need to go to Mexico to do it.
I didn't say they go to Mexico. I
well,
never said they went to
okay.
Mexico.
Okay, can I
So
respond
I'm
to
glad
that?
you cleared that up because I was hearing that they were going and getting
No,
votes
I never
across the
said
border.
that. Never said that.
Okay.
Dude, you said that they're bringing in Mexicans from
No, he didn't say that.
Mexico.
No, he didn't say that. No, he didn't
No, I
say
didn't say
that.
that.
He didn't say that. No, he didn't
I didn't
say
say
that.
that.
Hold up. He said the border. So they're bringing guys over the border. He didn't say from where. You guys are putting that in.
No, that's
Well,
what
that's
he
south
meant.
of the border.
Right, but
That's
now
south of the
it
border.
wasn't.
That's-
But now it's not over
But
the
then
border.
what-
Now it's
have you
within
got-
America.
Yo, but hold up. Anyone coming from any country can come over the border. That doesn't mean specifically like on the landmass. You can come from another country, coming over the border. You can go into one country into another. That's over the border, right?
EJ, yeah.
Yeah, but we really only have two borders.
Hold on, Dan. They were in
And he
America.
wasn't talking about Canada.
They didn't come over the border. Dan, EJ, they didn't come from over the border though. They were in America already.
No, Dan, yo, hold up. Listen, this is what he's very.
Wait. Can I pick apart his story though? Because it sounds like a bunch of BS.
Yeah, no. Listen. You have to understand here that we speak in English language, right? And everyone can interpret it. That's what you're doing. You're interpreting what he's saying. Now, listen. Go by he's saying. He said over the border. So don't try and not put your mind only because you guys live in the States. Only Mexican Americans people come over the border to give the vote. That's what he's saying. Now, the problem is now you guys are gonna say prove it. That's what. Forget about it, you're questioning how they're doing it. The question is prove it. That's what you guys want, right? So, Franz,
but it's already been. That's my point. The EJ's already been debunked. He said, hold up. Let me just finish. He said they were bringing him in for over the border, and then upon one question.
No. I never said they bring them over the border. I said they come from across the border.
Upon one question, it turns out it wasn't across the border. They were actually in America already.
Yeah, but you
wait. Can I ask him something?
One second. But this is the thing, right? When you're having a dialogue here, you can't be telling him what he's thinking or whatever. You have to let him go back and come back. Now, Aztec.
Thank you.
Thank you. You could be the next question in, but you have to understand, like what you. I'm on the outside, right?
Oh no, I'm not even. Yeah, I completely agree with you. No, I get it.
Yeah, I'm on the outside listening, yeah. And I'm
yeah.
But I understand the English language. He's using the English language, which I.
It's easy to misspeak and have to readjust. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. So what he's interpreting to me is a border. You know what the border. So what I'm trying to say to you is incumbent on him to explain exactly what he means, so you guys get a clarification about what he's talking about. That's why you have to let him fully explain. Now, if you disagree with and he ain't got no facts, then you can say, well, you have no facts, you have no evidence, and that's how you prove him wrong. Not rather telling him what he's saying is wrong. Go ahead, Franz. Finish what you're saying. And Aztec, go ahead.
No, just as I was saying, I never said that they bring them from across the border. I said they come from across the border, and a lot of them, they get married with U.S. citizens to get their papers, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to do what they want, but I've seen them when they come, because we lived in Section 8 housing. We were in the projects in San Diego, Southeast San Diego, and in South Central LA as well, and we would see how they would come in and ask my father for their vote, his brothers who were illegal in this country. So for Smoke to tell me that it doesn't happen or it's not true, that's not a lie. I lived it. You're not going to tell me what I lived. Just like you said, brother, let him speak, let him say what he wants. Okay, yeah, I'm telling you from my personal experience. Now, if you disagree with it, that's fine. You disagree with me, you can even call me a liar. But you're not going to tell me my experience.
Wait. Can I ask my question?
Because I'm trying to say, I wasn't calling him. I wasn't calling you a liar. It was the rhetoric that you used. You're now walking back and talking about how the vote is culled from the illegal population in America. That is a completely different concept than what you first threw out there, right?
It's not.
So now
It has to do with voter fraud.
Let me just finish.
Go ahead.
I'll respond to that with, I never thought that wasn't the case. I never thought that wasn't the case, right? But from both parties.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you something about? I'm trying to understand what happened, because right now I can't even debate your story because I don't understand really what you said. You said that you never understand. All right, bro. You said I'm trying to be cool here. You said that you're.
one second. Franz, yeah, like I understand that you got information about Aztec that is a bit younger than you, but we all have to respect each other and like rather like like little attacks. I'm not trying to say
No, I'm not trying to. I'll apologize. What I mean is he acts like he's
All right.
incoherent.
So,
To everything I say.
but I'm not even gonna ask a loaded question or anything. I just want to clarify your story because I'm having a hard time understanding. So, you said that your stepdad and he was here illegally, and you said they were trying to get him to vote, right? Yeah. Is that part right? And then who do you mean by they?
I'm pretty sure I made it clear.
No. I'm trying to know, were these like were these
they were
like,
campaigning? They were campaigning for the Democrat Party.
Okay.
Can I say some Aztec? And what year would this happen? You said this happened in the Reagan years.
Reagan is the one that made my father legal.
Well, that's our whole point. It could be the fact that Reagan is the one who granted amnesty to those people, which allowed them pathway to citizenship, which gave them right to vote.
Mm-hmm. Yes, correct.
Okay, then. So why? How could then your argument is kind of a little bit mute then? So how?
I think he was talking about leading up to that election before he passed that, right?
Yeah, it was before Reagan.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, but what that points to is both parties culling the vote from that community.
No, hold on. We can't really argue his point until we find out, because I'm trying to get to the bottom of. Okay, so did your stepdad end up voting when he was illegal?
I was too much of a little kid, bro, but I do remember them coming in. I was small.
Okay, so let me explain something to you, because I've grown up around people that are that are undocumented. Okay, and I have that experience too.
I have too. Yeah.
I know you do. And one thing that you and I both know is that sometimes our family members will act as if they're citizens and walk, just do the whole conversation, so there's no suspicion. So they're not going to fully admit, hey, I'm here without papers. It's not like Jehovah's Witness, is knocking on your door and you just go, oh no, I'm an atheist. Like you can't really just admit or expect them to go, no, I can't vote. Let me tell you why. There's a good chance that probably they were asking him to vote specifically because, one, if he was making money and living somewhere, if he was on Section 8 and undocumented, there's a good chance he was using a social security number that wasn't his. So they were coming after someone or trying to talk to someone that is probably a registered voter, probably is an American. But, there's a good chance that he just was asked, and it wasn't like a direct, we have a list of the people that are here illegally, and we're going to go specifically to them and ask for their vote. You said you were young, and I'm sure you didn't break it down back then, but I'm trying to make sense of it, because if it's not that, it doesn't make sense.
That's fine.
Hey, listen, our voting system is messy. You can look at it, the whole thing. It's just the point being, this is not about cleaning up the American electoral process. This is about sour grapes because he lost, right? He's not actually talking about reforming the states that he actually won the votes in that had these same issues.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta go, but thanks for letting me hang out.
Hey, before you go, Aztec, man. Hey, listen, thanks for coming over and adding to the conversation. And the conversation completely changed from what I would say the African American viewpoint to the Latino and obviously Mexican viewpoint, and that's Mexican American, and that's what you want, because America is it's full of obviously different people. Probably have like someone from maybe the Irish or Italian community come over. But let me ask Franz one quick. This is my own question personally. So see Donald Trump, when he got elected, he said he was going to build the wall. Did he accomplish what he set out to do? Is there a wall over there? Was the wall?
Oh yeah. There's parts of the wall, not all the way, but yeah, there is. And he did what he had to do, bro.
But some of the stuff he said about Mexican Americans, they're coming over raping and doing things. Do you agree with what he was saying about putting them silent labels on the people that you come from and saying they're raping and taking their women and stuff like that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I read I seen the whole context on that, and he was actually referring to you know, if you live the gangbanging culture as I did, and you've been incarcerated and been to prison. I've actually been incarcerated with MS-13 members, and he actually was right on point when he said that. MS-13 members, while I was in prison with them, their initiation to get into the gang is to rape a woman, and you know all the level of crime that they commit, and the history of the violence and the nature of their violence is beyond what America has seen, at least in the States.
But I think he was talking about coming to America and taking our women and raping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nah. I didn't take none of that serious. You know, I'm like I said, I'm a very level-headed guy. If you really would have said something that offended me, I would let it be known. But no, he didn't. And I really don't agree with that context that he was referring to Mexicans. I know he was referring to MS-13 gang members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, saying they're coming over and stuff, saying they're coming over. Like what you explained there, it happens in the gang culture, which I didn't understand, which I didn't know, right? But then saying that they're coming over into our country, doing that, that's why we're building a wall. Do you agree with that kind of rhetoric that he put out in regards? Because you've actually cleared it up in terms of what it takes to get into the gang, but you're not the gang is not necessarily going to America and taking their women, because that's what he initially said. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they actually do commit rape. MS-13 started in LA. It started in LA. It was brought on by the violence in El Salvador. A lot of these gang members brought their baggage and the hatred that they seen in El Salvador and the massacres that were being committed there and brought them to America. And if you've actually lived in LA during the times and seen these type of crimes, you would be shocked. I'm pretty sure there's other countries where there's bad things like that, but LA had never seen a level of violence that way.
Wow. Oh, shot, boy. Listen, boy. So let me ask you a question. So the wall going forward, the wall, has the wall changed anything? Has it prevented that? And then going back to the wall, Donald Trump, as people were crossing the border, I think he had them separated from for the parents and the kids. Had them locked up in puts. Apparently, there was in cages. I don't know if that was they said it from the Obama administration, but would you think about that whole thing of people from where your descent is being treated in that form, in that manner?
Well, he actually signed some papers to not have them separated, and that was actually the cages were built in 2014 under the Obama administration. So to blame it 100% on Trump, that's very misguided and that's very misleading. Anybody who propagates that.
Then in that case, who was responsible for that policy, the child separation policy?
Obama.
How so? Obama's not in office.
He's not in office, but it was granted back in 2014. That wasn't that wasn't Trump exactly.
Well, first of all, that's been debunked. Barack Obama has never implemented a policy where child separation occurs at the South of when migrants cross over illegally. Okay,
tell me how's it been debunked? Please
also
elaborate.
The problem with the prison system is not who built the walls.
Yeah, exactly. So again, that was debunked. This has been addressed already by key officials at the Obama administration who worked at the Homeland Security.
So it was debunked by the Obama administration then.
What funding? Wait, hold up. Again, who implemented the child separation policy? Okay, Barack Obama's team didn't do that. So
okay,
who did?
That's fine. I'll accept everything you're saying. But who was it debunked by again? Just please tell me that.
No. I'm asking funding. Funding for what? What exactly is funding coming from?
No. I'm telling you. Who was it debunked by? Who exactly was it debunked by? You said it, not me. Who was it debunked by?
Funded. Where is funding coming from?
He said debunked by.
Oh, debunked.
That it came from 2014.
Yeah, it was debunked by fact checkers who looked into the policies very closely. They said that's not true. Even the former Obama administration members that came out and had to verify that point. That's not true. We never implemented that policy. Okay. That was Trump. Trump was one who put that out there to take the pressure and criticism off him for that situation.
Did he also erect the cages?
Well, he didn't set up the cages, okay. But the fact is, the cages have nothing to do with the child separation.
It actually does.
Well,
really. You don't have to put them in
really.
You don't have to put them in
cages. Where were the kids put in?
So wait a minute. Right? Because let me get this straight. Because Obama built cages, he is responsible for the fact that Donald Trump put kids inside them.
What did he build the cages for?
Okay, no, but was
I'm
it to
asking
put
you, what did he build the
okay?
cages? What are
Yeah,
cages
yeah.
for?
Well, answer this question. What did they build the cages for? Answer that question.
Who the hell knows? Who put them in there? Do you know what they built it for? The question is, let's say, let's say,
Well, no, let me say this.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you another question. Let's say Obama built them to put children in them. Is it his fault that Trump actually put kids in them?
Is it his fault?
No. Come on. So, Brand, you can't answer a question with a question, man.
Everything you say is true.
No, I'm
Obama built
asking
the
you, is that
cages.
what you're saying?
Let's say everything you say is true. Obama built the cages, and he built the cages to put children in them.
He built the cages, and
Is
you're
it
asking
his
me a
fault?
question. Is it his fault? Now I'm gonna answer you. You're gonna let me answer or no?
I didn't hear what you said, but go ahead.
Okay.
We're both talking.
I'll answer your question. I'll very well answer your question. If Trump put kids in it, guess what? It's his fault. I'm not denying that. But he did build the cages, and there's no denying that.
Okay, but what does that have to do when we're talking about Trump put the kids in cages? Why are you now talking about who built them?
Well, here's a better question. Wait, Fred. I got a better question for you. What does the cages have to do with the child separation?
Where do you put the kids then? In the
No.
cages, right?
Well, wait. Okay, first of all, there's many ways of detention other than putting them in cages. But the point is that does nothing to do with separate them from their families. So what does the cages have to do with that?
They're being separated from their family, bro.
What is the purpose of separate? Wait. What is the purpose?
Obama, whether it was Trump, they're being separated.
Well, what is the
Now,
purpose
let's
of
be
separating
realistic.
kids? Wait, hold up.
Faults? Maybe in a way, yes. But
Well, let me ask you this.
One person is being very dishonest.
Well, what is the purpose of?
Fine.
Well,
if you're an Obama supporter, that's fine, bro. You can
that has nothing to do with us being an Obama supporter.
Don't be disingenuous either.
I get that. It's nothing. It has nothing to do with us being Obama supporters. It's all about rationale.
Sounds like it.
Wait. Hold up. I'm trying to be fair here. I'm asking is what is the purpose of the child separation policy for migrant children? What is the purpose of it?
I don't know what you want me to answer you, bro. I answered you.
Well, that's the whole point of the question because there's no constitutionality.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Wait, hold up,
If I commit a crime, am I going to be separated from my family? Yes or no?
Well, first of all, separate from your family. What crime was committed other than they crossed the border legally?
That's a crime, bro.
That's a crime, but they came with their children.
Border illegally
with their children who are also illegal as well. So they committed a crime as well, right?
That's not my fault, bro. I don't make the laws. This is a nation.
Well, you do understand. There are asylum laws. Wait. You do understand there's international asylum laws that protect people that do have rights. By the way, even though they can't, they have crossed the border illegally, they have to have a right to trial. Okay, but at the same time, to separate them from their children like that and not unifying them when their parents through that process is totally wrong. And you cannot do that.
Okay.
Right, and that's why they have to stop it, right? Right. The other thing is, these unilateral policies, like it's not just child separation. It was actually taking people off the streets and like unmarked cars, right? There's any number of things that are actually not legal, right? And they had to stop them, and now we have to deal with the fact that they're actually illegal. So it's not about like who wrote the laws; it's actually about who violated the laws.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey, this is serious stuff now. So you go.
Yeah, it is serious stuff. It is serious stuff.
These styles, bring it out, bro. Listen, unleash the the Targaryen dragon. Unleash the flames.
Chakara.
Go ahead, Chakara. There you go.
And look, man. Let me first say this, and I said this months ago. Okay, I said, regardless of who loses, somebody's getting roasted. Okay. But since Trump lost, I'll admit he's the one I wanted to see lose the most. Look, I'm no fan of Joe Biden. All right. And it's going to be like there is a battle still to be won, and it does not end now. This is not over. However, make no mistake about it. The worst case scenario is off the table now. Okay. Donald Trump can go back to where he came from, man. This motherfucker was, in my opinion, one of the worst presidents ever. Okay. And the worst of the modern, well, I don't know. Him and Bush, they kind of up there. But here's what I want to say about Trump. Okay. many of his supporters cannot really articulate to you in detail his policies and why they support him. They cannot do this. It's all isms with these guys. Okay, it's all I don't want socialism. Well, if that's the case, well, why are you worried about Joe Biden? Now, Joe Biden is far from a socialist. So what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? I mean, Trump did socialism for farmers because his trade policies fucked them all up, right? But he did socialism for that. You know, plenty of socialism for corporations, all right? And don't get me wrong, but Biden will kind of do a lot of the same things. But you see, they don't understand the policies. They don't understand the things this guy has really done, really, okay? In fact, most of the supporters, especially online, all right, they don't make $400,000 or $500,000 a year to really benefit from his tax cuts. Okay, they don't own corporations. Okay, to really benefit from his tax cuts, even when the tax cuts that were passed will expire and will be higher than they were before you were given the tax cut. Right? You can't say he's fiscally conservative. He's only increased the deficit. He's only increased the debt. You see, they don't have these conversations. All they do is talk about owning libs and I'm right and I'm right wing and I'm tough and all this. That's all they got at the end of the day. Well, they're not going to take my gun. Look, I promise you, right? These Democrats are too pussy to do anything like take people's guns. That's not going to happen, right? 8 years in office, okay, and 2 of those years he had the Senate and the Congress, and Obama didn't take shit from you, okay? Even though there's a mass shooting every week in this country, he didn't do shit. He didn't take shit from you, okay? You know who did take some of your shit? Donald Trump did, okay? Donald Trump's the one that banned bump stocks, okay? Ronald Reagan is the one that banned automatic weapons, okay? The Republicans are the ones that drive up the debt and the deficit. These are just the facts. The last time we had a surplus in this country was under Bill Clinton. I'm not the biggest Bill Clinton fan, but facts are facts. You see, these are policy things they can't talk about, okay? Arithmetic is not debatable. It just isn't, all right? So why do you support Trump? It's an identity thing. At the end of the fucking day, that's all it is. All right? Did he bring back all the factory jobs? No, he did not. Okay, he lied to you people in the Midwest. That's what he did. Okay, those old blue collar, outdated jobs are not coming back. Okay, do you understand? All right, those jobs, that nice job for $20 an hour you had in the 80s at the factory line is not coming back. Machines are doing that shit now. It's time to move forward. All right, but we need to think of the future. It's what we need to do. We need to stop subsidizing big oil. Now, obviously, Biden is not going to solve all those problems, and I know that. All right. Biden is still going to continue the foreign wars. We're still going to be bombing 10 countries and shit. But here is the main difference, okay? As bad as Obama was with foreign policy, all right, Trump was worse. You see, all the people that voted for Trump, all right, 4 years ago, because they were calling Hillary Clinton a war criminal and Obama's a war criminal. By that definition, all presidents are war criminals. But if they're all war criminals, I mean, Donald Trump was far worse. Donald Trump killed more civilians in 3 years than Obama did in 8. So by the sheer numbers, you should recognize that. Everything I despise about the establishment, and make no mistake about it, they've gotten control back. But everything I despised about them, Trump was worse than them. Okay, this is why Joe Biden's in office right now. All right, this is why he's back there. All right, a couple more things. All right, when it comes as to why Trump lost, it's pretty obvious to me, and a lot of it is kind of epic in a way. Okay, the way he treated Representative Lewis, all right, who was to many a civil rights, hero. Right, the way he treated him just because he didn't support him. All right, it's kind of epic that it's that district that lost him Georgia. Okay? It's kind of epic that the widow of John McCain, who, again, I'm not a fan of, John McCain never saw a war he didn't like. The dude was a war hawk, and we got to just tell the truth, even if the dude is dead. Okay. However, he was a POW. He did refuse. He could have been let go, and he refused to be let go in Vietnam when he was held hostage unless they let him go with his comrades. He refused to let him behind, and he stayed there, and he got tortured. The dude couldn't lift his arms above his shoulders. All right. And you're going to, and then he mistreats John McCain. Well, guess what? And the Republicans are mad at the widow. Of course he's going to campaign against your ass. Of course he's going to do that. And guess what? The senator of Arizona, you lost that fucking state. Let me tell you guys something. The idea of a Bush or McCain or Romney losing Georgia and Arizona would be laughable. Okay? Impossible for Obama to have won those states. Okay? Trump is so bad. He's so terrible. All right? That people said, you know what? I don't even like Democrats, but I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. You know what? I don't even like the establishment, but I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. This dude is so fucking bad. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first president we've had in history that you can't ask you used to ask like any president, even Bush, okay, Obama, whoever, you can ask him a foreign policy question. Okay. Any type of question, they would answer it in detail for you, name the leaders involved, and tell you what they're doing, what the progress is, in very fine detail. This motherfucker, all you get is, well, you know, we're looking at it very strongly. We're strongly looking at that, and we're working on that very strongly. That's what he says, and no, I'm not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. That's not a parody. I wish it was, because this motherfucker doesn't know anything. He can't read, nothing. This motherfucker is terrified, okay? He's terrified because a lot of things have been found out about him. He owes money to a lot of people. There's certain loans he's got that he can't default in anymore, okay? And a lot of them are foreign banks. And they're not going to give a fuck anymore. Also, New York's on his ass, all right? So what I believe is going to happen, all right, they're going to have an intervention with Trump, and they're going to tell him, all right, look, you got to concede, and if you concede with no bullshit, we'll make sure a lot of that shit goes away. Because believe me, they can make it happen. Okay? If you want to protect you and your family and your future generations, you will concede. People do not understand how much power this man has just lost and how many enemies he made. Okay? And those Supreme Justices he elected, or not elected, but selected and got confirmed, they don't owe you anything. You do understand, you cannot fire them from the position. They don't owe you anything. That's why they've already voted against him on some cases. And then he throws a temper tantrum saying, why aren't they loyal to me? I appointed them. Why aren't they loyal to me? They don't have to be loyal to you. Yes. Are they right wing in their ideology? Absolutely. But some things are not left wing and right wing. Some things are just common sense. Okay. Let me give you, like, a lot of people don't understand a lot of their grievances from the election. They've already been dealt with. Okay. They took some shit to a judge and said, oh, we don't have any inspectors there, right? And the judge asked, is there a Republican inspector there? Yes. So why are you here? Oh, we're just, we want you to do what you got to do, judge. Like, no, it's not the way it works.
Hey, D-Side, real quickly, there's some guy in the chat named Grievous. He said, well, he's a Trump supporter, someone with this guy PED in the chat. They say that Grievous, Trump never took America to an unjust war like Bush did. I'm like, well, actually, he almost did with Iran. You don't recall what happened there, right? Yeah.
Hey, hold on, man. Let D-Styles keep cooking, man. I'm liking this
I know. I just
flavor.
I just wanted to respond to this.
I'm liking this. I'm liking this, man.
Yeah, I hear you, Phil. I hear you, Phil. I just wanted to respond to Grievous real quick, but go ahead, D-Style. That's all I wanted to do. Go ahead.
I'm glad.
In the chat.
Look, I don't mind somebody pointing out, okay, that Bush started an unjust war, okay? I kind of like a lot of Republicans are starting to admit that now. You know what I mean? Like, you never did with Bush, did you? Motherfuckers voted for Bush all those years ago. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, but look, at the end of the day, Donald Trump literally dropped the mother of all bombs, okay, in the middle of a fucking desert to show how cool he is, okay? And all you Trump supporters got a bunch of boners because we dropped a big ass bomb, and then you believed the media, okay, that he killed like 200 ISIS members, okay, that were inside a tunnel. You really believe they dropped a bomb, okay, went to the site and started digging up, and they found and confirmed 200 ISIS members in a matter of 24 hours. Okay, if you believe that, I'm in the middle of the desert in El Paso, Texas. I got some oceanfront property I can sell you. Okay, because that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. Donald Trump, okay, and has expanded the drone program. Okay, that was started by Barack Obama. All right, and a lot of people would tell me then, no, but a president is going to make the right decisions on when to use drones on people, right? Now, first, even with Obama, I thought that was ridiculous. Okay, the dude killed an American citizen with a drone. Yes, he was Muslim, which is why there was no outrage, and it wasn't a foreign country, but he also killed the child of this person. Okay, I forget the name, but we'll move on. Okay, but the reason you don't do it, even if you trust a guy like Obama with it, because some maniac like Trump's going to get into it, and he's expanded it. We're bombing more people than ever. You could define war however you want. You could define war, it's war. It's only officially war if Congress votes on it. Well, to me, war is when you drop bombs on people and shoot them and kill them and eviscerate them. To me, that's war. Yeah, I don't give a fucking. I don't give a fuck. It ain't no dude like, oh no, but it's not really war though, because there's no boots in the ground. What the fuck? Who gives a fuck if a soldier's on the ground? Okay, so they're hovering over you with a fucking death plane dropping bombs. Okay, what? Like, you can't believe that Donald Trump isn't expanding war when they increased the military budget by like $80 billion. That's just the increase.
It's the military budget for 2020 is $700 billion and $83 million increase from last year.
83. I was off by $3 billion, and $3 billion is a lot. Okay, yeah, so $83 billion, which, by the way, it has to be said because it's true, the Democrats signed off on. Okay, I get that completely. Is Biden going to decrease the military budget? Highly unlikely. Why? Because he's too pussy. Okay, he's too pussy to be called out for decreasing the military budget. They're going to call him an American. The Republicans are going to get mad at him. Okay, that's why he won't do it. Okay, plus the military industrial complex works with two parties. I'm going to tell you guys right now what the solution needs to be. Okay, and this goes for right wing and left wing, and I mean the real shit, not this fabricated shit we see on TV. The solution is more political parties. Period. Okay, I mean, this idea that every 4 years we're kind of forced to pick the lesser two evils is kind of getting to people, and I honestly believe the country was ready to move to more political parties, but Donald Trump was so bad, all right, that the kind of unspoken agreement's been, we're going to get rid of this motherfucker and then we'll go at it later. That's kind of the unspoken agreement going on right now, all right? But we need to see, I would love to see a political party that's fiscally conservative when it comes to, the economy, all right? But at the same time, liberal when it comes to social issues, all right? Why not? And maybe vice versa. Because this idea that we have people in this country that their number one, issue is abortion, right? They're so concerned about abortion. That's their number one issue because they're all for life. They don't care about the life of the born. They only care about the life of the unborn. Okay. They will bomb people in other countries. That's no problem. Okay. We'll have shadow wars in Africa. No problem. Okay. We'll sell weapons to the Saudis to bomb kids. No problem. We don't care about those lives. Okay. We just we just want a virtue signal. That's all we want to do. All right. And call women sluts. That's all we want to do. All right, a bunch of dudes that couldn't get laid with hot chicks, okay, concerned about who hot chicks are sleeping with. And I'm just being honest with you. That's really what a lot of it is. Okay. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't care about abortion. I'm just saying that shouldn't be your number one and only issue to vote for. That's basically asking for a politician and a party to take advantage of you. Okay. What about all the other issues that impact all of us? What about that? So I want to say one last thing. All right. Anytime I speak about Trump, okay, there's a lot of people that just presuppose, oh, he's a Hillary supporter. You know what I mean? Oh, he was an Obama guy. Before Trump was elected, I was doing videos criticizing Obama about his foreign policy, okay, and his domestic shit. I mean, look, he continued to dish tax cuts when he didn't have to. He did not pass what I believe is common sense, universal health care, but for whatever reason, that's still debatable with people. You know what I mean? But okay, I get it. But he ran, with the promise of giving everybody universal health care, and instead he gave us a right-wing plan that was done by the Heritage Foundation in the 90s. And that's Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. So I mean, there was some good in it, like the provisions of pre-existing conditions and stuff like that. But believe me, I am far from a corporate Democrat chill or anything like that. And I have some issues I'm very conservative on. Some of them I'm very progressive on. All of us, we're things are just more complicated than the way they're presented to us and the way people talk about it, and that's all I got for now.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.